If weight loss is your thing and you are trying to lose weight using plant-based diet, this part of the course is for you. So now we are going straight into calorie versus activity level. So this is where we talk about the calorie deficit and being on a plant-based diet. If this is your first time, welcome. If it's not, I know you'd be back. I'm Carletta, your plant-based strategist, and this is part 4 of the Healthy Plant-Based Eater course. Let's go into it. We're going to cover today calories to lose weight, body weight planner, and activity to lose weight. We're going to start off with some statistics. I know it's so hard to say, right? We're going to start off with some statistics. Only 17% of adults in the United States sustain 10% weight loss after 1 year. It is that small of the amount of people that actually can keep up with their weight loss that they work so hard to get. 95% of people want to lose weight for their own well-being. So that 5% is normally probably losing it for vanity, but the other ones, we're trying to make sure that our bodies work the way it's supposed to. And as you can see here, these are some other stats, but ultimately, all of these stats are letting you know that there are multiple ways of losing weight, and all of them will give you the success that you want, but it might not stay as long as you would like it to be, or it might not be sustainable. But you can skip meals, you can eat less unhealthy. There's going to be some way, but if you're trying to do the ultimate goal of a large amount of weight, it will be something that is sustainable, and plant-based eating is sustainable. How do you calculate the amount of calories you should cut out for weight loss? Well, let's look at it. So 3,500 calories is how much 1 pound of food, 1 pound of weight on your body is. So if you have 3,500 and you're eating that constantly every day and you're not losing or not burning off any calories, that's going to be weight back on your body. And it's easy to get to 3,500. We could have one fast food meal and that's over 1,000. Or actually scratch that, 3 fast food meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, done. You will go way over that. And if you run or exercise, you're only going to burn like maybe 300 calories or something. It's not going to be as much as you think. So to burn 1,000 calories is unrealistic. The formula here. So 3,500 times however amount of weight, right? The amount that you want to lose equals the amount of calories that you need to cut out. So for example, we're going to use our 2 people here, Jessica and David. Jessica, she wants to lose 20 pounds. So that means that she's going to have to cut about 70,000 calories. All right. And that's not obviously per day. That's over a certain amount of time. Okay. And then the same thing for David. So for him, if he's trying to lose 100 pounds, he's going to have to cut 350,000 calories. That is a large amount of calories. But let's see this. So that total amount divided by the amount of days you want to lose it is the amount of calories you must eat less of. So she wants to lose it in 60 days. She wants to lose this 20 pounds. We're losing it in 60 days. All right. That means she's going to cut 1,167 calories, as well as you see David's in 90 days. So his is longer. And that means he only has to cut 3,889 calories. Now, per week, let's say if we're trying to lose a pound per week here, we see for the average person to lose it in 7 days, you're going to have to do 500 calories per day for 1 pound per week. For 2 pounds per week, you're going to have to do 1,000 calories per day. And that's the way that you cut down on your amount. It does sound realistic, but for some people it isn't, because they want to eat what they want to eat and they want to eat the large amount of calories. So this is where it is. Body weight planner. And I have the link in the description below. If you go there, it's a calculator to use that helps you tell you how many calories you want to do. And so we're going to click on it so that you can see what it looks like. All right, so we're on the website, and as you can see here, if we're using the US units of measurement, we're going to start off with how much weight. Let's say Jessica is 180 pounds. All right, she is a female. She is 45 and her height is 5'5". Now, her estimated level of energy is going to be based on how active she is. So let's say that she only is physical, during work lightly, like she does a lap around the building. Or let's describe your physical activity in your leisure time. Her leisure time, she is a little bit more active, so she's moderate. Okay, that means that regularly, at least once a week, she's walking, cycling, cycling, and gardening. All right, so this is her amount based on the estimates we put in. And when you get this website, you can do the same thing. This is her current weight. We want to change that to a goal weight of she said 20 pounds, so 160. Okay, 160. Okay, let's say 30 days. So if we're trying to reach that in 30 days, all right, so you see here it's saying that we need to change it. It's like that's unrealistic. And that was one of the things that we were going to prove. So let's just say that we're going to do it over 90 days, right? 90 days, 160 pounds. That means that we have to figure out what kind of physical activity that we're willing to do to make this change. We're going to go to we're going to add some light cycling for 30 minutes, 3 times a week, okay? And so that changes the percentage to 13%, okay? So we're going to 13%. This now tells us how many calories we have to eat per day. So to maintain the weight that we are, we have to only eat 2,491 calories. To lose 20 pounds in 90 days, we would have to go all the way down to 1,648, and that's per day. And then to maintain the goal of 160, that's after we've lost it, we have to then eat 2,410 per day. These are all easily doable things. So now you see how you can estimate it for yourself and figure out how much calories you need to reach your goals. All right, so look at these activity level stats here. We see that the average person doing basic moderate aerobic exercises per week, and they're doing about 150 minutes per week. So that's out during the whole week. 75 minutes vigorous activity over that time, that same combination of a week. We see all kinds of different things. Obviously, the average American spends about a half an hour exercising a day. I am guilty of that sometimes. It depends on how much I have to work or if I got up early enough. If not, I try to go to 45 minutes to an hour. But if not, this is what I have. All right. 37% of consumers use step counters or Fitbits or any of those things, and it's only 50 to 75% accurate. So it's not even giving you the accuracy that you need, but the ones that are using it, we are kind of getting stimulated by seeing the numbers. This numbers is motivating us to do more. And as we see with increased physical activity, we are losing more weight. But that's also, if you have a calorie deficit, it means that you're going to lose even more weight than just if you're maintaining the same amount of calories you're already eating. Actionable goals. We see all these actionable goals. These are things that we actually can accomplish, like aiming for 150 minutes of moderate aerobic activity per week. That's doable. Or taking a 5-minute break. Avoid sitting for more than 3 hours at a time. So a 5-minute break every 3 hours or before every 3 hours. Or drinking at least 8 cups of water per day and keeping our bodies hydrated. The more water you drink, that is the way to burn fat because it's going to help carry that out. But if you're not drinking any water, there's no way the fat's going to go anywhere. These are all some actionable goals that you can use. If you pause the video, you can have a moment to really look over all of the actions. Actionable habits. Actionable habits here. Notice that we have quantity over quality type things. So we're going all the way to keeping a daily food journal to eating the rainbow. And that makes it more of a quality. There's numbers involved. There is a certain amount of mindfulness involved. That's how I like to say it. And that's a quick one. It makes it super easy for us to go over this one, understand that everyone has a way to meet their weight goals if you have that. For me, I just want to be healthy. That's my biggest goal. I like my blood work to say and my lab work to say that I'm being healthy, or to have less aches and pains. That's the way I like to feel, but I understand that there's some people who are very focused on weight, and that's something that you grew up with. If that is, this hopefully helped. Put it in the comments. Let me know if this was very helpful, that you learned the most out of all of the courses from this course, and give me a suggestion of what other videos you like to see, because I'm making a few and I can't wait to go back to our regular videos after our last lesson of the course. I'll see you next time. Bye.